Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you have accepted that you're weird, feel free to stay, and by stay I mean make sure that you have subscribed and turn on the post notifications on that you're notified whenever I upload a video again. Okay, so I'm in like a ranty mood today, like ranty, venti, venti, like a Starbucks thingy. Sorry. Yeah, I'm like in a venti type, like, can I not say venti please? I just keep thinking of a Starbucks thingy, like the size goes like, what is it, grande, venti, and whatever. Anyways, so like you might have guessed already by the title of the video, we're gonna talk about things that never made sense to me about high school. Make sense to me. So background, right? I went to Catholic high school, so some of these things might not apply to every like other high school, but I went to Catholic high school, so there were things that are like specific to the school I went to. Obviously I'll not name the school for certain reasons, but obviously if you know where I used to live before and like you've known me for a long time, yeah, you would know which school I'm talking about. But anyway, and you likely have gone to that school with me, so you might agree with me or you might not, but these things that didn't make sense to me, okay? Not, yeah, it's just high school and my school in particular in general. So the first thing I've never understood, my school was a Catholic high school, right? Like I already said before. So the most obvious thing is we did not have sex education. Yes, I bring out condoms because you're gonna know why. It will relate very soon. It will make sense, okay? We did not have sex education in my high school at all. Like zero. Like the word, like listen, even in like the science books, I remember there were like some lessons where some of the pages were glued together. Like we did not have sex education in my high school. And then guess what? Obviously we had a lot of teen moms. I'm not saying that I was down to not have sex education, but like I would like to think that that contributed towards it. I don't understand this, okay? Like if your child's going to like a thing at Catholic high school right now, know this right now, likely they're not gonna have sex education. So if you think that your child is gonna get sex education from their high school and they're going to Catholic high school, they're not. I'm just telling you that right now. Unless if the like school curriculum has changed since I like stopped now, since I finished high school, which was 2012, it's now 2020, so it's like what, about 8 years now? Unless if it's changed within the past 8 years, likely not, because it's a Catholic high school. Likely there's the probability of that changing is very low. very low, like 0 to none. Okay, I never understood why we did not have sex education at all. Like my sex education, I actually got it through my sister. She was watching on E4, there was this show called Sex Education. Like literally they did not sex education on Netflix. No, we're not talking about sex education on Netflix. Oh, it's a really funny show. It's a good show. I'd recommend you watch it. It's a really good show. But anyways, we're not talking about Netflix sex education on Netflix. We're talking about like 2009. Like there was this show on Netflix. I'm trying to think who was the host for it. Like I don't remember who was the host, like who actually hosted the show and stuff, but literally on that show you'd have people like butt naked. You see the people's vaginas, you see people's penises and everything, right? Butt naked. And then you have like, that's literally how. So my sister would, whenever that show was happening, she would actually call me and she'd be like, okay, come watch with me. So to me, that was my form of sex education before I started getting all curious and she started like researching shit on my own. But that literally was my first initial introduction to sex education, was through my sister showing me, not even showing me, through my sister watching a television show for literally based on sex education. That's how I learned about sex education, not through my high school. Not through my high school. Not through the schooling system, the education system that you would think that would actually teach your kids certain things. You think like some schools would think in their brains that they need to try and teach people about. You know what, I have a whole like issue with like the schooling system or like certain things that I feel like they just overlook for some reason, and I'm like, but why? Like I don't understand, how can you call yourself How can you be part of the education system, part of the people that are meant to be educating people, but some of the basic things like sex education, when you clearly know that when someone hits puberty, their hormones are going to be raging as anything of life, you're not going to consider that, like, maybe, oh, you need to teach them because it's a Catholic high school. We don't talk about that, darling. No, we don't do that. We don't want to hear that. No, it's not allowed. You shouldn't even be having sex until marriage. Well, what if I didn't want to? Which clearly, obviously, I didn't want to wait until marriage, but like, anyway, like seriously, like I've lost count of how many teen pregnancies happened while I was in high school. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I've actually lost count. And it's not only like teen pregnancies, right? It's also like teen pregnancies and STIs and STDs that probably happened. But then because of the fact that there's a whole thing of, oh, we're a Catholic high school, likely most of them were too scared and didn't know who to go to talk to about it at all. And likely some people got STD, they didn't even know, and it was dormant and they're just passing that shit on to everyone. Like, even worse, if someone had like an STI, like let's say chlamydia, that if it goes for a long time untreated, of which it can go for a long time undetected as well. If it goes for a long time untreated, you can become infertile from having chlamydia. Like, it's not... Listen, I'm just going to tell you this right now. My parting message with this is that if you have your child going to a Catholic high school and you think that they're going to receive sex education, they are not, point blank period. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. The next thing, this one particularly is specific again for my school because Catholic high school. Anyway, so the school, like my school's uniform policy was absolute trash. I'm not gonna lie, my school's policy on uniform was absolute trash. Like, oh my god, like, please explain to me how it made sense that in winter, in the freezing British winter, right, we're not allowed to wear trousers, but we can wear pencil skirts that are stretchy, that we rolled up. I'm not gonna say that I didn't. The skirts were like meant to be below our knees. Did you think that we're going to be wearing skirts below our knees? No. My school, I can't even say the name of my school because you get the idea. But like, our school had the first. It had a few letters of the name of our school replaced with ho in it. Let me just say that. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, literally, if like some of the people I went to school with right now, like, if you went to my high school, comment down below if I'm lying or not. You know that what I'm saying is true, okay? Our school had some letters within the name of the school replaced with ho in it. While we're a Catholic high school, two people that, like, the girls, obviously, you're going to school, like, they look like belts. If my mom was here, she'll tell you. Our skirts, some of the girls, like, their skirts look like belts. Like, it look like a belt. Like, you know them thick anti-belts that people used to wear, like those thick belts that people used to wear in like 2007, 8, that time, those thick waist belts that people used to wear. Yeah, that's how like small people would roll their skirts up to be. Like, some of them, I think they'll roll them up, and some of them even probably like get them like cut down and just like tailor down to be the length that they want them to be. But apparently our beloved schooling people, our beloved, what do you call it, our beloved head teacher, our beloved head deputy, our beloved like chair people, whatever, the people that, I don't know, whatever, the people that involved in like a school running felt that it was necessary for girls to not be allowed to wear trousers, because apparently trousers are distracting because of the fact that there's the potential of people wearing trousers that are too fitting and their bums distracting everybody else. I'm sorry, it's not my problem that I was born with a bum. If you do not have a bum, that's your problem. Of which, to be fair, when I was in high school, I didn't have a bum. My bum just came recently, like about 4 years. That's not recent, is it? But anyway, like, it's not someone's fault. Like, stop like literally punishing someone for their genetic makeup. It's not their fault that they are that way. Like, it's really not. Like, I don't understand. But that was done. I'm still staying on the uniform policy. Please tell me why. Okay, so one of my friends, Rutendo, right? My best friend, she went to she went to like get her hair done, so she got purple braids. Came into school the next day. Please tell me why the fucking head of year had the nerve. Our head of year, I think we're in year 9 at that time. Our head of year had the nerve to turn around and tell her that she needs to go back home and take her braids out because they're purple. So you're trying to tell me, right, that like, oh, because these are extensions, number one. Number two, you don't understand the purpose of a protective hairstyle, right? Okay. Two, why don't you go on, right? Why won't you go on and turn around and tell your fellow Caucasians to go and dye their hair back to their natural color if you're gonna try and come after, right, black people and tell them that, oh no, the extensions that they have, the color is not appropriate for school. Nobody was born with burgundy hair, I'm sorry. No one was born with green hair, I'm sorry. Nobody was born with purple or blue hair. So please tell me why you felt it was acceptable to turn around and tell my friend that she needs to go and take her braids out. Why don't you go just tell the white people that they need to go back to the salon and get their hair changed back to the natural color? Please tell me why. And while we're on this, there's an actual current issue that's happening right now, again, pertaining to black people and their hair. There's this little boy called Farouk, and oh my god, his hair is gorgeous. Like, oh my god, like just look at him. His hair is gorgeous. He's so cute. He basically, like, his mom is at the point where she feels that she needs to change gender. She wants to change his gender to being non-binary so that he can be allowed to keep his hair, because he's been told that, like, there's no way certain schools, believe it or not, I'm sure of it, this is another Catholic school again, but anyway, certain schools, right, they're like, oh, we do not, he's still in primary school, right? I think it's about like year 4 or 5, but obviously you have to start like applying the processes and stuff a little bit earlier on, so that, because I think the school it wants to go to is like quite a like prestigious school, like but like kudos to him, like if he wants to go there, why not? But like the fact that the school are like this is the same school as well, I don't remember the name of the school, but they got in shits again a few years ago with another black kid with dreadlocks, and they told him that the kid needed to like cut off his dreadlocks, otherwise he wasn't going to be allowed to go to school. Like, are you kidding me? And now they're trying to tell Farouk that he needs to cut his hair so that he can be allowed to go to that school, because they changed the school policies to say that, oh, also as part of uniform policy for the school, children are not allowed to have dreadlocks or braids. Please tell me if that's not racist. Like, excuse me, what if someone is actually a Rastafarian? Then what are you gonna do? Like, you're trying to tell someone that they need to change their beliefs so that they can come to your school. Like, you know what, right? Like, I told you, there's a lot of things I have like issues with the schooling system. Like, it's just, oh, like, come on, like, look at him. How are you gonna tell him that he needs to cut his hair? For what reason? How is that another thing again that you're gonna try and put that to say it's a distraction? It's natural. Like, the same thing how someone having a curvaceous structure, you're gonna try and tell them that, oh, they can't wear trousers because it's distracting. It's their genetic makeup. The same with his hair. It's his identity. It's his genetic makeup. It's not like. Listen, this whole thing is an absolute piss take. I'm sorry. Like, it's an absolute piss take. I'm going to leave the link down below for the petition that's being signed up so that people can, so that like this whole case can be taken to court, because I feel like they're just not getting it. Like, at what part do you not see that this is blatant racism? I don't, you know what? Okay, next point I have is, okay, so I'm loud, right? Like, I used to talk a lot, like my year 9 parents evening. If you don't know what parents evening is basically where your parents or your legal guardian comes into school, and then they see every single teacher for every single like lesson that you have, subject lesson that you have, and then they kind of give a brief report. So it's like in the middle of term before you get your end of year report. So with my loudness, right, one thing I realized that was never encouraged was healthy debate. In particular, I was debating with people when it came to religion, right? In the religious studies lesson, that's the only like subject that I failed in. I got a D in religious studies. As you can clearly see, that's why I'm not a Catholic. But that's not why. There's many reasons why I'm not Catholic anymore. That's a story for another day, okay? That's a whole video on its own. But please tell me why, right? We had a teacher that felt uncomfortable about the fact that when I had my lessons, right, there were times where I would be debating and questioning some of the stuff that we're being taught, basically, and my teacher wasn't having it. I don't remember if he actually was a priest before or something like along the lines of that, but like he was not having it. Like me trying to express my opinion or trying to debate it, it was not allowed. It was not encouraged at all for me to have any other view. Of course, yeah, it makes sense. I was in Catholic school, so I should be having the same particular views and beliefs as a Catholic does. But literally, they know the majority of the pupils that they had in our school, some of them were even atheists. Like we had people, like, I don't understand. I'm not trying to say that they should have been discriminating, right? But it's like the whole thing with the school was the way you are to be allowed in the school was you had to be a Catholic, you had to be doing certain things like be an altar server and stuff. And I'm like, okay, we got like Pentecostals in here, we got Jehovah's Witnesses in here, we got atheists in here, we got, like, I'm like, just call a school, right? Like, stop trying to stick to this whole thing of like, oh, we're a Catholic school, we have certain things that, like, I potentially would have not been able to go to that school if I didn't end up becoming an altar server at the church that we're going to at that time. Like, that's literally how, like, it's so ridiculous. Like, you're saying to me, oh, I need to meet the certain standards, as to say, to be allowed into your school, but majority of the people that you have in the school don't even meet it at all. Like, excuse me, like, really? Like, you know what, like, Catholic schools, right, like, you lot, like, moving on. This one would be this is all purely based on my experience of my high school. If I applied to a high school, then it's unfortunate. But anyway, the bullying, listen, I don't understand. Okay, like, this is one thing that even worries me. Like, I worry about my little niece, right, to the extent of, like, my little nieces and nephews. I worry still to the point of, how is it a school can say that they have a zero tolerance on bullying? What do you mean? Like, please define what you mean by zero tolerance on bullying, when, oh, you know what, this topic actually does my head in. How can my school be like, we do not, like, when a school tells you, right, that they have a zero tolerance to bullying, please ask them what are the actual actions that they will take on to address someone being bullied. Because believe it or not, they don't have an answer. Majority of them, they do not have an answer. It's either they're gonna say, oh, expel the person, or they're gonna give them something stupid as detention. Detention has never done anything. No one has ever learned from detention. I'm just gonna say this right now. Nobody has ever learned anything from going to detention. It's pointless. I'm sorry. Oh, like, my school, right, they had this whole thing where it's about like, oh, bullying, blah 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 blah. We don't like, no, it's absolutely bullshit, because number one, the teachers were bullying each other. Like, please tell me how my food tech teacher, one lesson, right, one day she couldn't teach because she had been bullied by some of the teachers at my school, and she literally closed herself off in one of the pantries in our thingy, in the food tech room, like the room that we have our lesson in. She closed herself in the cupboard and she was in tears because she was bullied by one of the teachers at the school. Not even one, I think it was two of them. Like, please explain to me how. How is a school gonna say that they have zero tolerance on bullying when the people that should be addressing the bullying are the ones doing the bullying? I don't understand. I really don't understand. Now, just gonna round this off, because as you can see, I'm getting a bit heated up a little bit. Just gonna round this off with lessons that didn't make sense to me. Okay, like, I have three lessons that have never made sense to me at all. Okay, maths, I get it, but why do we have to learn algebra? Please tell me who, raise your hand right now, who has used algebra since they've learned it?
Come on. do math.
2 + 2 is 4, -1, that's 3, quick maths.
This doesn't apply to engineers and all the like other people that have jobs that involve numbers a lot. But for everybody else that has a job that doesn't involve numbers to the extent of algebra, who has used algebra? Please tell me why I wasted my time learning algebra. Like, where am I gonna use it? Like, for the why. Like, no, like, it doesn't make sense. And another thing that doesn't make sense as well is geography. Like, I feel like that's one of those lessons that shouldn't have been like mandatory. It should have been compulsory. Like, I still can't tell directions anyway. Like, I'll use Waze. I still can't tell direction. I'll use Waze while I'm even walking, and I've got lost multiple times. Like, what's the point of geography? Like, excuse me. Like, I just refer to the Google Maps or Waze, and I use that, and I still get lost anyway. When I still use those things, I still get lost. Yes, that's down to me to not being able to tell direct. Like, I don't know which. Like, I don't know my, what do you call it? My compass points. See, I don't know that. Like, listen, geography is pointless. I'm sorry. Like, to me, geography was pointless. That lesson should not have been mandatory. It should have been compulsory for someone that potentially wants to do further studies to do your geography. But that was pointless. Like, it should just be like, yeah, you know what, geography, right, should go as far as year 8. From year 8 onwards, just do one. Like, geography, do one. I'm sorry. Like, it's pointless. Like, no, it should not be part of the, like, no. And then the final thing that I do not understand, this is in particular, obviously I'm talking about like British high schools here. Our history lessons, right, I'm just gonna say this, our history lessons, right, were the most uneducational and uncomfortable lessons. Let me land. So, yes, I learned about World War II. I learned about World War I. Okay, cool. So how is it you have a school, right, that has people from different ethnic backgrounds, right? You're so focused, right? You want to choose to ignore the other part of history that happened. So you want to try and act like you didn't take part in slavery, right? The only thing that you can afford to do to try and teach the other ethnic backgrounds, right, about the slavery that you partook in, right, is to take a DVD, right, the movie called Roots. That's all. I'm not gonna lie to you. Ask whoever, whichever black kid you know that went to high school, or I don't know if they still do this right now, but ask whichever, like, correct me if I'm wrong. If you went to high school around the same time I did, I went to high school between 2007 and 2012, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, that majority of the times when you had history, when it came to the slavery topic, the only thing that the teacher would do was pull up that TV, right, that big belly TV, and then put in the DVD so that you can watch Roots. Like that's all you have to say about it. Like, that's the issue. Like, if the white teachers, right, yeah, I'm gonna say it, if the white teacher, for some reason people feel uncomfortable about saying you're a black person, you're this, whatever, if the white teacher didn't feel comfortable to teach the rest of the class about slavery, well, then get a black teacher and get them to teach everybody else about it. I didn't learn ish about the actual slavery that happened, that this country partook in. I didn't learn anything from my high school. I will tell you that. I learned it from me doing my own research. And once again, my sister came to the rescue, because clearly I think she knew that, like, my school just be lacking in that department, and my sister was the one who actually showed me more programs that taught me more about how slavery happened. Roots, yes, I am not disregarding the movie, I'm not discrediting it. Yes, it's a movie that shed some light on it. Some, okay, it's not the pinnacle of everything about what happened when it comes to slavery. It shed some light on it, okay, some light. Listen, if you're black and you're watching this, right, please take it upon yourself to actually educate your children about the slavery that happened, okay, in this country, as well as like in other countries. Take it upon yourself, because believe me, the schools ain't gonna do it. I'm just gonna tell you this right now. Like I said, unless if the schools have somehow all of a sudden changed their syllabus and the curriculum, they will not, because for some reason it makes them feel uncomfortable to teach about it. But then I'm like, okay, so you're uncomfortable to teach about it because you know that some of the people that you still have here are racist anyway. Like, I don't, you know what? I have nothing else to say in regards to this, okay? I'm going to calm down. I'm going to breathe. Breathe. And yeah, so that's like, feel free, right? Feel free to share your thoughts or like your experiences in the comments down below. Feel free to share this video with whoever you feel will need some, I don't know, whoever you feel can relate to this, or whoever you feel like would actually watch this, or you feel that they need to know some of the things that I'm saying. Feel free to do that. Feel free to share your neglect, anything that you feel that I am wrong on, because I know some of you might think that I'm wrong about some of the things I said, especially when it comes to the history portion or in terms of the uniform policy. And until next time, you know what to do. Go perfect silence.